What's up guys, Phantom here back with episode 79 of my F1 2019 career mode as we are going to the Marina Bay Street Circuit for the Singapore Grand Prix for round 15 of season 4 here. As you can see, we have the ultimate front wing upgrade and a minor rear wing upgrade, which will be super helpful here at Singapore. As you can see, we are now second in the vehicle performance comparison, as we also have in the coming races an ultimate ERS upgrade and a weight distribution upgrade coming in the next couple of races as we go to qualifying.
Should be a fantastic qualifying session. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
As we start out here in Q3, as we come across the line to start our flying lap here, as we have historically not been very good in qualifying here around Singapore, as we normally struggle to get into Q3 here. But if you look in the top left, Norris is on provisional pole position, not Leclerc. Leclerc actually was out in Q1, as this will really help our chances, as we've only finished 7th in qualifying, as our teammate Ricardo finishes 4th. But as you can see there, we are going to start about 13th position. For some reason he finished like P20, he was just very slow or something, he probably got blocked or something, I don't know, as we are coming to the race.
Welcome one and all to the shining streets of Singapore. Can you believe we've been coming here for nearly a decade now? It feels like only yesterday that Felipe Massa was dragging his fuel hose down the pit lane in that eventful opening race, and in a Grand Prix won from pole position more often than not. Will we see a new victor crowned today? It's a 3.1 mile lap here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, with 47% taken at full throttle. It's hot, humid and bumpy around the 13 lefts and the 10 rights of mostly slow corners. But we should see speeds of up to 200 miles per hour along the Raffles Boulevard. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's talk about Old Timer. That was a great podium in the last race, so can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday and will start from pole position. And talented Spaniard Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez and Vettel, Oldtimer, Verstappen, Butler and Valtteri Bottas, Magnussen, Raikkonen, Romain Grosjean and Russell, Albon, Weber, Lance Stroll and Daniel Kvyat. Hulkenberg and Charles Leclerc completes today's grid order. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
As we see here in P7 here at Singapore, as the 5 lights are on and they are on forever, and then we finally get away and we get a good jump for once here on Perez and Vettel, as we were going to go 3 wide into turn 1 here, as we've managed to barely escape there, as our teammate Ricardo is going after Hamilton, as the 2 Red Bulls up ahead are getting away from them, as they will go side by side, as we're going to cut down here on Ricardo and go side by side, as we are running probably higher wings than the AI if they run their normal 6.6, as we will actually have the slipstream for Hamilton, as he kind of just went really slowly there on the apex. We were able to keep the position on Ricardo there, as we will move up into B4, as now we are attacking Hamilton down the front straightaway here, as Norris sets the fastest. Everybody's setting fastest laps, but we went the fastest out of all of them there, as we are setting up Hamilton. But as you can see here with our high wings against Hamilton, we are just no match there. But as you can see in the corners, we are coming right back up to him as we come into probably historically our best overtaking spot of all time here into hairpin, as it's really our only real shot ever around here, as we can never get close enough down that back straight, as we are going against Sainz, as Leclerc, who's in the back, has set the fastest lap of the race, as Sainz right now for some reason went defensive into that right-hander, which will leave him exposed. And he does have DRS but we also have it too. But as you can see, we're struggling against Sainz, who is so far away from Norris there. We're going to actually kind of turn in there a little bit late as we take second position, but we're going to come in at the end of lap 5 to make our pit stop here, as we make sure not to speed. We lock both wheels up, as it is a very slow pit lane here as our guys are coming out. Now as we look behind us, as Hamilton is coming through, and we're actually got released, and I'm pretty sure Hamilton was actually ahead of us there, but for some reason the game forced him to slow down and behind us, so he'll lose some crucial time there, as we will actually come out in P13 behind the Mercedes and Kvyat here, as we are coming up against Kvyat into our favorite overtaking position here, as we come down the inside here, as he's actually held his own around the outside there. So we'll have to drag race down the straight here, as this will just show you how much just how much we're just so much slower down the straight there, as he was actually pulling away when we were in rich and overtaking, as Stroll is taking over Albon, who has slight damage to his car as we go around the outside there. But we have crucially jumped Norris there in the pits there, as we will go side by side with Stroll there, as we're looking at Albon. We get turned by Stroll, as we nearly got sideswiped there by Sainz there, but we've been turned by Stroll into the right-hander there, as now they're 3 wide, as we have to figure out who really to block, as we initially blocked our teammate there because he had the best run on us. As you come up here, as apparently he thought this was he has not learned from Malaysia. He turned left into a right-hander, as he's just completely taken us out there, as everybody kind of got stacked up behind me sideways. But that was not all right. He apparently thought we were Vettel there. As you can see, we were trying to figure out who to block as we come out, and we actually got hit by our teammate there a little bit, but as it was, since they're not very quick, Albon has damage, we were able to get back to Sainz very quickly. As you can see, it's actually starting to rain there a little bit on our screen, as once again, for some reason, Sainz goes defensive and we go switch back on him. This time we will have DRS against him, as we actually bang wheel theirs a little bit. As we come to the braking zone here, as we outbrake him, as we run into the back of Stroll, as Stroll is just once again in our way, as it is starting to get a little bit heavier on the rain, as we come into our favorite overtaking spot here into the hairpin, as we'll come up the inside, as once again we cannot just clear him, as you can see as we kind of tag him a little bit there, is just how much faster those cars are as we come around the outside, as we are able to make the move stick there a little bit, as he is around our outside. So we're going to take a little bit wide line and barely make the corner as we come in, as through the last couple of corners here, Albon goes wide and he's knocked off the other part of his end plate there, as now he has no end plates, as he will be really slow in the corners, as we will go around the outside of him into turn 1 here, as we will make the move stick as we come up to lap 10 here, as Raikkonen is coming out of the pits, and Albon was holding up them for so long that he was like an 11th or 12th before everybody's pit, but he's up to net P2, as Russell's also in the pits, as he'll get out in the middle of that group and will move up positions here, as Raikkonen has been overtaken by Ricciardo, as there is yellow flags, as Hulkenberg is out of the race there, as you can see, as he's just really slow, and he finally pulls off there, as we finally get the signal, the notification that he has been out of the race. But Grosjean has not pitted yet, and he's coming on the lap 14 out of 15. And with all the pit lanes, all the pit stalls after the start-finish line, he will not be able to pit, and he will get disqualified. As that is just wow. As Stroll has also been disqualified as well. As we come up to the middle sector here, Albon has also been disqualified, as for some reason Mercedes and Ferrari has just not pitted their drivers for some reason, as they thought it was rain, but you have to pit at some point, as Ricciardo has gained 5 seconds in the last 2 laps here, but we will be able to take the win here at Singapore.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
Renault certainly didn't hold back today. A well-deserved victory. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Here come today's winning drivers, and what a race it was. This is a team that knows success very well in F1, and they're just itching for even more. Congratulations to the Renault team for their excellent win today. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Kimi Räikkönen's my standout today. Nothing you could construe as showboating, just an incredibly consistent performance out on track.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. No change in the top spot, but with today's points, their hold on the lead is getting weaker. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.